welcome back.
We are going to have a look at round number 2 very soon. We are just looking at deck lists. We have Daniel Krutil here. He's one of the former Moravian pros, I would say, pro players. Member of team Velká Morava, I believe it was named back in the days. But yeah, he definitely is a good player, and he's playing mono blue here. Mono blue control.
No dreadnought. That's like the first thing you look for. It plays one of the best cards in the format for X Infernus, but we know that for years now.
I was wondering when that would come. I was pretty sure that
first things first.
Yeah. first things first for X Infernus is great.
Yeah,
it also plays Standstill, by the way.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. It is a Force Spike. You don't see that card a lot.
Oh, I love it.
Force Spike. And this reminds me some old blue decks. Like card I would expect to give me the total vibe of these old blue controls is Thaving Glaciers, which with that many islands I would almost expect it to be here. Yes, that's a super cool card. I like it a lot.
So it's a card that's not in the deck list, but we as commentators would love to have one there, but we can't have everything. Still, this is a really cool deck because we talked before about the blue Dreadnought decks, blue control decks. This is like very much in the control camp. No Dreadnoughts, no nonsense, just Parallax Tide. And against him we have Emil Polak with mono black Contamination.
By the way, what an absolute beauty!
Yes,
I almost can't speak. So
we have for the second round in a row. By the way, we have those Urza Saga Arena foil lands, which are just gorgeous.
Yes, but generally Urza Saga lands are like some of the greatest basic lands ever printed. You put some foil on them,
and they are just perfect.
Oh no!
or you don't.
Or you don't, and it's still good.
Yeah, but so this is mono black, which aims to win with the lock of Contamination and Nether Spirit, discarding it.
A lot of shiny stuff.
Yes. Oh my god, what okay, guns blazing, round 1, Duress Force Spike, and we are off the gates. So Dan is on the play here, which is huge, I guess, right? Like he got to catch that Duress. We have Mishra's Factories on both sides. More Duress. So is it going to resolve?
But this is it's very, very interesting because now I like the dynamics of this game. Like obviously Daniel will try to like Parallax Tide, his way to victory. Yeah. On the other hand, they both play Mishras, and Emil plays Nether Spirit. So even if there is now he's further away from Parallax Tide, which so as a black player I'd be fine with this. Not to mention I'm most probably going to resolve my spell. Another thing is that there is no real answer for Daniel for Nether Spirit. And Nether Spirit has that as advantage that if you play draw and go with Standstill, you can discard it end of turn. So that comes back under Standstill.
On the other hand, it cannot get through Mishra's Factory on defense, right?
But it can block it.
It can block it, that's
and
true.
Very successfully.
Like you need 2 Mishras to attack and you need 1 Mishra to defend. So interestingly, Daniel is signaling that he, like last turn he attacked, he doesn't have any more mana leaks, any more Force Spikes, and Emil will keep that powder, that beautiful shiny powder keg with 0 counters to maybe catch that.
But like mono blue against mono black deck, I mean...
just how Garfield intended.
Yes, like if there were dual decks back in the day, these would be the... And this is a Flash of Insight just for one.
Yeah, just to draw a card.
Just country.
Nothing wrong with that. So, in your upkeep, tap your land. I mean, Emil has a pretty decent way, provided he draws more lands, to kind of like push some spells through with that port. But right now Daniel is the one who has that mana advantage here after that Wasteland exchange. And so in response, has a pretty aggressive Flash of Insight. So that Wasteland is in the graveyard. It should not be tapped for mana. Okay, there we go. So in response to that Ritual Import activation, we're gonna be
Flash of Insight for like
4
or 5.
I think it's more like 3. No, it's like 4 spike mana leak.
Yes.
Else?
But already just this little interaction we saw. It's 2 for 1.
Yeah. Don is up a card. I guess what he wants to be doing here is just to keep playing lands, maybe Parallax Tide at some point.
And since you are like sort of a little bit like a combo deck, this Flash of Insight later in like a mid-late game gets you any card. You know, that's good, and it doesn't cost. Like, what's important is it doesn't cost mana. Like it doesn't cost. It's just 2 mana and these cards from grave.
Yeah, it's basically on the level of Tainted Pact in your Highlander. It's like you cast it, you look at a truckload of cards, you get one of them.
Yes, this doesn't kill you though.
Sure. Wait, I thought the Tainted Pact can just fizzle, but it doesn't kill.
No. But sometimes when I'm like hell bent on getting a card,
and
it's in like bottom of the deck.
Okay, that's what you mean.
But I already won with 0 cards in my deck. When you with Volrad you can always put something on.
Something just landed, and maybe that could be a standstill, right? Because that it is very much in the glare zone, also known as the zone of death, where we just are in the dark, just guessing. Yes. But my money would be on standstill. Let's see if I'm right.
No.
Okay, so he wants to get rid of that standstill with powder keg?
I hope that's not the case.
Because
if you put so much effort into your foil lands, you should know that powder keg doesn't kill enchantment.
Right?
But we might be wrong. Maybe that's like his powder keg, or it's maybe like the
there might be a plan.
Phyrexian Furnace that you maybe want to kill because of.
Okay, so it was not a standstill, it was another powder
I'm so
keg.
sorry.
There we go. Okay, sure. So that's the keg that is on the mission to get the opponent's keg, and a Nether Spirit resolves. So that is a very good card here. Fairy Conclave can still get in, although it might end up being tapped by port.
Kegging keg.
That's what's gonna happen.
The old story.
Like, who gets their opponent's keg with the keg first? Yeah, like Emil has a head start here. I
guess who's probably higher in the mountaintop.
Okay, yeah, so he's like dropping the keg from higher up. So now here is a card that's gonna have a significant impact on the board. That's Parallax Tide.
Yes, and I'm afraid if Daniel has one of like I think 8 cards he plays. I think okay.
No, he doesn't. It's just a value.
Well, he can have Stifle. Maybe he has Stifle in his hand.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was thinking more like Chain of Vapor straight away. But yeah.
I think he will wait one turn and then he can remove. No, he's not going to remove.
How many Stifles does he play?
I think that was 4.
Okay, all right.
I think a lot. Yes. By the way, blue deck doesn't have answer for Nether Spirit, but with Phyrexian Furnace, now he does.
Okay, there we go.
It has to go to grave, so something has to happen in combat zone.
Sure, like you trade it for a Mishra and then you remove it, which is still fine. I'm wondering if Emil actually wants to blow that furnace up with the keg now. Like, wait, maybe if you're done,
it could.
Do you want to hold it before?
He can still wait. Right, he can still wait with it.
No, but like what I mean is like if you're done and you want to get that Nether Spirit with your Phyrexian Furnace, maybe you want to wait until the keg, your opponent's keg is on 2, so your furnace is safe. No, like there's no need to why is there a need to play it now?
What? Sorry.
The furnace.
Yeah, he could maybe he could have waited for that because he's probably he will take it with him.
But okay, we'll see.
You see, also like furnace is always good. Like you will you'll get a card of it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And also Daniel is actually on the offense here. He's attacking for 5 with his Mishra. For 4 with Mishra and Fairy Conclave.
But like this shows like the strength of this Parallax Tide. Like if he has that Stifle, and I think he does. It's the game.
Interestingly, Emil is happy trading blows here and attacking back for 2, not afraid of the 2 damage that Mishra is gonna deal.
I'm surprised as well because it doesn't seem like you're winning the race.
Like, what's your plan here? Like you need to draw lands, right? Like,
Yes, we just
interesting.
So
So he's blowing up the furnace. Oh my! So
what has just happened?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Response he destroyed the
furnace. Yeah, that's what I meant here. Like, now you can't get it with the. Now you can't get the Nether Spirit with the furnace, right? Like if you waited for a bit, then now it's like you play furnace, exile it, and you're good. But the thing is that Daniel still has that the 2-man lands. He's still doing 4 a turn. Now he's gonna end up doing 2 a turn if Emil decides that Nether Spirit will be on
now
box.
he needs like swamp discard, swap, Cabal Therapy, naming Stifle.
There's Swamp. And so does Daniel have that Stifle?
Yes.
Is the question.
He does.
No. Does he really?
No, he doesn't.
Does he really though?
I get it. I'm happy. I'm happy for the sake of magic.
Yeah, and now Fairy Conclave is going to end up top, and we have a game again now.
Yes.
Like both players have lands.
Okay, if tied, if
Okay,
tied.
or do they? Okay, this is really like a very swingy game. So we have another tied, but
And he has Chain of Vapor. He has Chain
does?
of Vapor. Yes.
Okay, so that is going to be huge. Yeah. So that means you do it now, right? Like you discard, you target 4, then you bounce your own, and then you can even bounce the Nether Spirit.
Martin
Right.
Berlin, are you watching? Are you enjoying this?
Can you really like you can now just cycle? Okay, yeah, you can second land, bounce the Nether Spirit. If your opponent's not anywhere close to like 7 cards in hand, that he would.
But I think I don't know how many cards he has, but I think it'll be quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So now Daniel has Parallax Tide in his hand. He still has those 2-man lands. There's a Mishra. Okay, but did he just discard the Nether Spirit?
I was just saying
So he was
because
seven- he was on seven.
he
Yeah,
didn't.
right,
he
yeah,
drew
yeah.
like 3 turns,
Yeah, you're right,
and
yeah.
so he still can get this one. But he's in. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
But we were talking about basics. Daniel basics also a very good choice.
Yeah.
Mirage.
Okay. Is it Mirage or Tempest?
It's Mirage.
Because I remember there are those like iconic, the ones with the palm trees, the Mirage Islands.
Yes, but they have different types. Like in Mirage, like all planes look very similar, but islands look quite different.
Okay. So we have Tide just for the Mishra's Factory, just to kind of keep Emil down, not prevent any kind of spell casting and such nonsense.
But unfortunately, Emil does not even post board. I will look at it. I don't want to say that he lost his
spoilers.
game, but I think it doesn't look good. So many cards in Emil's hand.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is that he doesn't really have very good answer to Parallax Tide.
His answer is discard.
His answer is discard, but every time like you draw it from the top, it will have a huge impact on the game. Like
That's
what Emil
an
can.
engineered plague main deck, by the way.
Well,
That you not just discard it.
but I think Emil's logic. I play Zombie Infestation. I can always discard it and turn it into
sure.
a zombie.
Like you can afford to play situational cards. But so Emil is now very firmly on a 4-turn clock from that Fairy Conclave. And like what you were saying before, that Emil even postboard doesn't have a good answer against Parallax Tide. Like his answer is discard, but then Daniel has Flash of Insight and cards like that. So like if you let the game go long, Daniel will be able to search for that Tide.
Yes.
So that is just very dangerous. So Emil discarded the namesake card, maybe we can say one of them. Well, I mean, it's Zombie Infestation, but I would say the contamination is also a pretty important piece there.
Yes.
I'm, like it's a marginal thing, but I'm always like when I think I'm like 90% sure that I'm gonna lose the game, I'm always thinking like, do I want to show this to my opponent?
Yes.
Even actually, if you're winning the game and you have a faster way to win, but it would require you showing your opponent something that they might not know about. Like maybe I'm sometimes gonna take the route that's 1 turn longer, but you don't show them. Yeah. But okay, like if you see Nether Spirit, you probably see Contamination as well, right? Like this is not, it's not the case.
But Nether Spirit, I used to play it in Standard in Blue-White Control. With Fact of Fiction. Oh, that's cool.
Spinning Darkness. Okay.
Cool. It's going to eat a counter, of course, but still, like considering like Emil is doing such a great job, like he has nothing, and he still somehow actually really stays in the game. He can cast spells. He can get creature every turn.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like without lands, he can have creatures, removal spell. Yeah.
Like it. I think Nether Spirit is a super cool card. Unfortunately, I tried to play it more times in some formats, but it's so underpowered these days. Like maybe not in Premodern, maybe, but I think even in Premodern it's very underpowered.
Let's say you're against goblins. You are on the draw. You draw your Earth card. Do you just discard Nether Spirit and say go? I mean, like end step. Like what do goblins do about resolve? Nether Spirit.
They just flood the board and kill you with 2 pile drivers.
Okay, fair point. But they have to wait. They have to be patient. Like, does it? My question would be like, does it give you more time discarding it on turn 1 than it takes away from you by skipping that land?
Possibly.
So it might be.
But they must not start with lucky, right?
Sure. Yeah. Otherwise, you're screwed. Yeah, that's true. But like, you already know that if you're on the draw, you know if there's a lucky or like a prospector. Yeah. So we have a couple more cards in the glare zone. I suppose that the card with 5 counters is not a powder keg with 5 counters. I would suspect it's more another Parallax Tide.
Yes, but
why would you play a second Tide?
Yeah, but here like Daniel can have like almost any. It's funny that Daniel did not have it now.
But look at the board. He lost his Fairy Conclave to Wasteland. He only has Mishra's Factory. So
and he doesn't have Chain of Vapor to bounce Nether Spirit and swing for lethal because Emil is only on 2.
Why would you play that Tide? Maybe as a protection to discard. Like you now end up with 1 fewer counters than.
I think it doesn't matter because you will be removing his. Like how many lands can Emil really put into play? Like 2. So you're going to. I think it's fine play from Daniel.
This is still funny. Like okay, Daniel has to draw another Mishra's Factory, at which point he can just like attack, and one of them will get in for 2. But
now what's interesting here that he'll get another Nether Spirit. And that was always like my fear. Yeah. What if he has a sweeper and both Nether Spirits will end up in the grave? But I don't think there is a realistic way for Daniel except for like Powder Keg in many turns.
Powder Keg for 2. So we see a Phyrexian Furnace.
But
is this game?
What I like about Phyrexian Furnace as well that it can help you with this issue.
Sure, it can remove one of the Nether Spirits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like, is the game slipping away from Daniel here? I saw there's another island in his hand and a couple more cards. He's starting to flood pretty badly, right? Like he has like 10 lands to Emil's 1.
Yeah, but I'm Team Emil, so
you're like
I'm cheering for Emil.
It just feels like it's not even like the final nail in the coffin. It's like the final nail is already there. You just need to hit it once with a hammer. That's all you need to do. All the nails are in the coffin already.
Imagine Emil gets another wasteland. And he starts attacking for 4.
Oh, sure. Like I was thinking, like you keep it because you don't want to die to. Wow. Okay. Oh my God! Is Emil actually going to come back into the game?
He will counter.
Sure. Like if Daniel Daniel has not been playing anything for a couple of turns, so there has to be something in his hand, right? Now the tide it's ticking down. The Mishra's Factory will.
If obviously he wasn't so low on life,
here we go.
He could like be attacking with both creatures, and always one would die and comes back.
Like if he was ahead in the race, then like that's the thing that he could have done. But like these are some superb blockers.
Or if he was not just on 2 life, if it was like 10-6, you just swing. He blocks 1, but then if he attacks back, you
attack for 4.
For 2, but the next turn.
The next turn for 4. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Right. So I think I didn't do the math, but something like that would probably work.
Yeah.
But not here because here any attack like Fairy Conclave or whatever you did.
Yeah, you're very much on the brink of on the cliff.
I think
just about.
Emil wishes he played like 6 wasteland.
What is Daniel looking for? He's right now in the process of resolving an impulse. So the question is like, what pushes him across the finish line here? Because there's no lightning bolt, obviously. There's no like another Fairy Conclave, sure.
Fairy Conclave sounds very good.
Plays 3 of them, I think.
But I have to say it's it looks decent for Emil, yes.
He found it.
Come on.
So now it's all about, does Emil have an answer?
Does he play 2 or 3 Conclave?
There's
and there's 3 conclave and there's standstill.
All right.
So wasteland.
Wasteland, and we're good.
It's best spell in Legacy anyway. So
is it still?
It is.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Okay. So yeah, I guess it's like now or never, is it?
Well, he can still like blow the furnace.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Like, but he's looking for either powder keg or wasteland, and then like he has 2 draws for it. If it's powder keg, it's gonna blow up the.
What are you doing?
Contamination. Oh.
Okay.
That means that like Daniel's not gonna have the mana to activate the conclave.
Yeah, but he has counter. That's it.
Sure, but like because he had the Rishadan port.
Yes, I'm saying I would probably be not so hasty. I would probably play the draw and go game.
Yeah, like with the port.
Not to mention your Mishra is coming back.
Right.
At
And
some
then
point.
like you have protection from 4 spikes at that point. That was one hasty contamination.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean I see the point. Like if I resolve it, I win.
Yeah.
But do I? Because even if he draws like Chain of Vapor.
Yeah. But how is he playing the Chain of Vapor?
Well, you play it. He draws 3 cards at Chain of Vapor. He floats
that's what
blue,
you mean. Okay,
he floats blue mana.
Like that's true that in Daniel's deck there were many answers to that kind of
I think too
bold contamination. So that's just the Fairy Conclave's just gonna get him across the finish line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how about another Spinning Darkness?
Yeah, that's
But there's just a contamination in the graveyard. There's not enough black cards, right?
I don't know. This is like a dance on Emil's grave.
I mean, he's been in that position for some turns now already. I mean, it's staying on to life. And if you're Daniel, what are you afraid of here? You just go for it, right?
I understand.
Like Spinning Darkness doesn't matter. Maybe like Contagion.
Yes.
Are you playing around Contagion at this point?
Yes. I saw it there. I just don't know if it's in the sideboard or in the main deck.
Yeah. Does I'm wondering if Emil has Contagion in the main deck. He has 2 Contagions in the main deck.
Cool.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's see. And if he kills Daniel's Fairy Conclave, then Daniel is not left with a lot of win conditions in his deck anymore.
And now he's drawing a card.
Yeah. Does he have the mana to do it?
Yeah, he
floated one from Mishra's Factory that was
Mishra's
getting
Factory,
under
exactly.
the tide. All
now
right.
he'll draw Wasteland for sure.
You think so? That's how.
It's always like that.
Okay, that was. But like
That
considering how Emil looked dead like 10 turns ago,
yes,
he did a pretty good job of staying alive.
I'm very happy we have his deck on so
yeah.
And there was even like the Skeletals crying.
Wow.
There's Sickening Dreams. Can we have a Sickening Dreams on the because
Sickening Dreams, one copy of Sickening Dreams in the main deck. It's another way how you can discard your Nether Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can if you have 2 Nether Spirits, you can exile one of them with Spinning Darkness, Skeletals Crying. There's a lot of ways how to get rid of that.
I like very much how this deck is built.
Would you play some Squeeze with that Infestation?
Or
Or is it just too much of a clash with the Infestation?
No, I don't know. I think if you want to play it like that, you play probably Intuition. You play it like blue-black.
Yeah, sure.
And you get Intuition for Squeeze.
But anyway, looking at this sideboard, what is he going to board at? What is that card at the very bottom? Lurking Scourge.
Yes, I have to say, I'm not even sure. I probably don't even know it.
I've seen it for sure, but I don't know if I've ever seen it in play. Lurking Scourge
there is Dystopia,
is
there is Snuff Out. I think Snuff Out's coming in. Because you will not have mana, he knows that already.
So all the free spells are coming in because you never cast anything.
There's another
mana.
Spinning Darkness,
Lurking
there's Powder Keg, Smolder that's coming in.
Can we have one more glimpse of Lurking Scourge here? I didn't finish reading it.
Lurking Scourge.
Whenever creatures put into one of your opponent's graveyards, Lurking Scourge is... okay. So it's not for this matchup, unfortunately. Okay, never mind. But okay, Snuff Out?
Just what is this matchup? For which matchup is this?
I mean, goblins or any creature deck? Is it good enough? Okay. 3 mana, 3 fly?
I see the thing that when this dies, it's not a creature.
It's not a creature.
So it doesn't block your Nether Spirit. I think that's the main thing.
Sure.
But it's like 2 mana, maybe 3/2. Or it does nothing.
What's not to like?
I mean, this card is insane.
Snuff out.
By the way, common that costs like, I don't know, 16 euros.
It does? Wow.
It's incredibly expensive.
Wow, I have to look through my
I
boxes.
looked through my literally like trash box.
Yeah.
And I found Parallax Tide and Snuff Out.
Okay, it's like digging for treasures, you know. You just need to rest, let the cards rest for like a couple of decades, and
it's
then
like, you know, like you go through bin of a millionaire because there are gold nuggets.
Really? Are there?
Yeah, I think that's what they do.
Okay, so to me it doesn't look like Emil has a lot to sideboard, which is maybe not such a great news because he definitely has to board out some cards like Engineer Plague, you know, and like.
I mean, what's good
removal.
news that I can see Annul, and I totally think he's going to bring Tetheri's Response
for the Wastelands and Ports. Yeah.
Yes.
Then we have Tormund Script.
Tormund Script. It's a maybe.
For the Nether Spirit, I mean,
Yes,
but okay, like you already have. I would say that Furnace in this matchup, in any matchup, frankly, is like so much better than Tormund Script, right? Like the only situation in which Tormund Script is better if you're playing against some all-in combo where you really need you can't afford to have the mana. But yeah, okay. So I mean, it looks to me like the matchup is gonna get a little better for Daniel, maybe post board, right? It's just he needs to counter all those discard spells, or just draw good cards from the top. But like, unless contamination hits, you have all the card advantage for late game. You have Factor Fiction. Yeah. By the way, we just got a message that Daniel is in fact bringing in the Tormund Script, which makes sense.
It's fine.
Sense. Like you want
to it can stop the spinning darkness,
and also it can stop Nether Spirit contamination after contamination has resolved. Well, I mean, Furnace can do that as well, but like it's like. Yeah, you want to be able to do that.
I do like contamination. I built some decks around it in the past, and what's something that that you can miss is that you can play contamination on empty board without a creature if you have Mishra. In upkeep you can activate, sacrifice Mishra, and still and then like play the third land and cast like Nether Spirit or something like that. So it can be surprising. Or if you have Nether Spirit and he answers it temporarily, you can like as a backup plan you can sacrifice Mishra's Factory because you can always activate it. So that's
it's good. It's not a temporary.
By the way, card I like, and it's a card I like very much, and you don't really see it, is Domination.
Dominate
from my favorite set, Nemesis, where Volrat shows his power over Grieven Ilvek, because he is like the spine of Flowstone. And this is card that for 4 mana instant you take his Dreadnought. And even people try to play it in Legacy. For 3 mana you take Merit Leish, the 2020 indestructible token.
That is pretty spicy.
But it never really took off because it's just expensive. But the fact that it's an instant, it can it can get you. I don't think it's for this matchup, but interesting card to have in mind.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Emil is on the play here, leading with the Mishra's Factory. Both players kept their hands, which is good news.
I want to see Risha and Port now.
Emil heard your wish, and he's immediately casting Powder Keg with it.
Okay, I'm tap.
But like you can't have everything.
No,
he granted you.
Good he has it, and I like that. Now Wasteland.
Okay, we're going up to 1. What does he want to get with it?
No, I don't like that, honestly. I think you want to. It's very much about manlands, and I'm not sure if Emil got it by now.
It looks like Emil has a lot of responses to manlands when you look at it.
Yes.
Is he going to Wasteland straight away?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, sure. A Stifle, maybe?
I just want to say that's another wish fulfilled from Emil.
And we are, in fact, going to see a Stifle on Wasteland.
Yeah, I think that's why. Wow. I'm sorry. I think that's why you want to do it upkeep. At least, make his make his life a little bit worse. But then it could be Tetheri's Response.
Yeah, I think so. I think you want to go for it right now because getting Tetheri's. I mean, you still have the port. So if he has Tetheri's Response, he's just gonna. That is gonna be very nasty.
That'd be
Upkeep, okay, no Teferi's response there, but also no black mana source for Emil.
Yes, but it's coming. It will come sooner or later.
Yeah. Daniel is like slow rolling it.
But it's just a matter of time. He gets his mana.
Who? Emil.
Yes. Daniel is getting his mana. Now you probably Fact or Fiction end of turn or something like that.
If he has something, I mean, they don't always have it. Okay, so Emil has decided to switch the gears here with...
Yes.
Ooh, so maybe he does have the black mana. He just wanted to get that Nether Spirit in the graveyard right away.
But only if he drew it in like last turn or the turn before.
I mean,
I think he could see that the Daniel didn't really have an answer for Nether Spirit, so he maybe wants to try to like attack.
Yeah. There's no Mishra on Daniel's side that could be potent blocker. Can Emil win this game with no black mana? It just looks like Daniel is completely out of gas here. He doesn't have anything. Like his counterspell don't do anything because Emil is not casting any spells. Okay, now we're talking. And he didn't.
I know he just.
Oh, so he doesn't want to trade that Conclave for the Nether Spirit.
No, because there's Nether Spirit in the grave.
I know, but like if you attack. Oh no, he just brought it back in the upkeep. Sorry, he couldn't have attacked. Yeah, my bad.
But I think this could be this kind of aggro.
That's what you can get there. Chain of Vapor.
Okay.
That is just.
That's if I'm Emil, I'm very happy with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention that you get card in hand in grave. Sorry, you get card in hand, so you will be discarding it.
Yeah. So you
now
can.
Now I just don't understand why you don't attack with it. Oh, it just came from grave. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, because it was like one in grave, one in play. The one in play got bounced. So this is actually a fresh new Nether Spirit. It looks like the previous one, but this one is a completely different Nether Spirit and very fresh and too scared to attack. He doesn't have land. He's just discarding 2 at this point. What is going on there?
Yes.
And
I wonder how many lands does Emil play? Because I think this kind of deck wants to play like 24.
Okay, so there's the Tide, which it does something, but it doesn't do everything. It doesn't stop the Nether Spirits.
Yes. And I'm sure he will discard the third one now.
You are?
Yes.
You discard. But yeah, sure. He couldn't have discarded them last turn.
Okay, so now he has swamp. So now when he has Parallax Tide, you play like swamp.
So yeah, now it's like a one-time swamp. It's more like a Lotus Petal.
Well, you can't do really much, can you? Like you have to play like your discard spell. You must have discard spell by now, right?
Yeah.
He plays
so.
eight discard spells,
Yeah.
so one of them should be. That's. I know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that would be huge.
That would be huge.
Super huge. Like, who needs lands, right? I'm just gonna have Zombie Infestation and Nether Spirits, and like I'm not gonna cast a spell until the other turn. I mean, game. So now the question is like Daniel is actually the one who's really under the gun here, who needs to find answers for those Nether Spirits, and he needs to find them fast. And he lets Emil have 2 lands. He's just worried. He just wants to slow the bleeding at this point and take the Mishra's Factory.
Maybe a Teferi's response, and he wants him to do it.
Okay.
So he draws into business.
Sure. So you lure your opponent into activating that port and just draw cards. All right.
He probably maybe has just answers. Maybe it's just some counter spells.
I mean, I'm sure he has to have counter spells at this point. Like Anil.
But what's cool is that you can like now just attack for 4, which is powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, you can.
When your opponent is on 12 life.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I would prefer if Emil's keg was on 0. I'd like that better. But if you're trading Nether Spirit for Conclave, I'm happy.
Yeah. You're not exactly trading it. You're more like it's just delayed by 1 turn.
Wow, he's taking it 8 life. So I think if I was, of course, like Emil does not know about Teferi's response. There's another kick.
Okay, I would assume that gets countered, maybe, right?
Yeah, everything gets countered by like at this point.
So Daniel desperately needs something like Factor Fiction. I mean, even Mishra's Factory would be good because it stops one of the spirits at least.
Yes, and you can actually with Conclave you can get rid of them when they both.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Because you go block and then they're never coming back.
Absolutely. Yes, but I mean, this is, I think, what brings us some of the lines, because I think both players are good players, is that they don't know each other's deck lists. Mm-hmm. Like if Emil knew he can only kill him with manlands, I think he would never +1 counter on Powder Keg. Not to mention that even if your opponent plays Powder Keg, you will still get the counter first. Mm-hmm. So if your target is to kill,
right. Like you go through your upkeep, you go to 1 counter. Okay, the lands are gone, but who cares about lands? And actually, so the Mishra's Factory will come back. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it is a way how to get rid of one of the Nether Spirits, kinda. Because now you sacrifice the land, you bounce one of the Nether Spirits. It gives you a little bit of more breathing room. Mm-hmm. You can replay that Parallax Tide to get rid of the Mishra. Sure, yeah, that does something. Yeah, and
there's Mishra.
There is the Mishra. So do we have a game here again? I mean, we still have a game, but like, is Daniel back in it?
Yes, but now he's going to take damage. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately for Emil, Mishra is not dealing damage anytime soon, if ever. So now he's going to 6. He has 8 cards in hand or 7. I don't know. Or 7 cards
7,
in hand.
So he cannot discard another spirit.
He can't discard. There's so much time. Like you were right when you said that Daniel will be able to prolong the game a lot.
But he still needs to do something with. Oh, so he will take Emil from 20 down to 18. That is one basically, very confident attack. But why not? Yeah.
Basically, as Emil, you just want to draw wastelands. But unfortunately, Daniel has so many cards that can even answer this uncounterable spell, which means wasteland. So he has Stifle, he has Tetheri's Response, so he can protect his Mishra. Now, there's also a question whether Emil wants to even play anything, or whether he just wants to have Nether Spirit.
Yeah.
And I think you probably want to have
Nether Spirit. I think so. Maybe you just like start with discarding the Nether Spirit, and then like next turn you can do whatever you want it to do. I like how the tides have turned. Last game it was Emil down to 2 who was like trying to stabilize. Now it's Daniel down to 6.
Yes.
It's these 2 aggro decks are incredible, right? Like they can get you down to a low light total and then just.
But unlike say a pit rack that can like burn you with rack with the namesake card, here you just have to get the damage from the creatures.
Yeah.
So he's attacking again.
Contagion.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. What's that? That is definitely some sort of counterspell.
Yeah, it's Tetheri's Response.
You can Tetheri's Response a Contagion.
Well,
that is sweet.
Yes.
You can?
It counters like Stone Rain. But we are so used to obviously dealing with Dust Bowl or with the Rishadan Court, so we may be a little bit hell-bent on it.
Maybe it's not exactly an English version of Tetheri's Response. That's why they're looking it up. Wow. So Daniel's gonna draw some card here. 1, 2.
So strong.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't want to keep, because like this way. Oh, okay, so next turn. Oh, sure, I see it. So next turn he's still safe from the attack from the Nether Spirit, but like the turn after.
Wow.
Okay, Crypt. In response, Spinning Darkness. Wait, but that means we're in main phase already, right?
Why?
Because
he played Dormant.
Yeah,
you're
right. So like Emil took 2, he's gonna save his conclave with the Parallax Tide.
That's right.
Which means that Spinning Darkness will not gain any life, I suppose?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And okay, I like it.
I think that's a beautiful interaction for Daniel's deck, that even when like Parallax Tide is not amazing or you don't have it, you can still protect your creatures.
Yeah.
And you can be more reckless, because I think as a like say standstill player myself, often you just don't really want to attack because like what if they have removal that otherwise is pretty bad, and so on and so on. But here you can just attack. You have removal, I will just basically get value out of that.
By the way, so there's another Fairy Conclave, by the way, on Daniel's side, but one more thing that I wanted to say was that Emil had to remove that or exile that Nether Spirit into the Spinning Darkness, right? So now he's back to just one Nether Spirit, and Daniel seems to very much be in the driver's seat here. Despite the life totals being 615, I like Daniel's chances here.
Yes, and I like what Emil is showing us, that sometimes Nether Spirit was played usually as a 1-off, 2-off, max like 3-off.
Sure.
But here he played 4-off, and it seems like that's the right number.
Yeah, in this deck it has so many ways how to exile creature. I mean exile cards from your graveyard. So, by the way, that powder keg with one counter still sitting there.
Yes.
I mean, it would just be one counter off of the Parallax Tide when it still had counters. Like, you could always protect it.
I mean, he would have to. I think Daniel would have to solve it, because now when he has the Tormund Script and yes, this doesn't look good.
Yeah, he has 3 Fairy Conclaves already. It's all 3 Conclaves that he actually has in the deck. And it's gonna be, they're gonna be, the fairies are gonna come for some damage.
The original fairies, before fairies were obnoxious.
Yeah, Do you know what creature type Trito Village is?
Does it have a creature type?
I think it does. I mean, we could double check, but I think you have one guess. And then I think I know what the creature type it has. I might be wrong, but I think I know. It's like...
So I don't know.
Beast? Make a guess. I think it's an ape. Actually.
Really? Like there are apes on the picture, but
I think so, but we can verify that claim later on.
Yeah. Can we see Trito Village? Just real quick.
It's one of the best apes out there, Okay, well, okay, this is 7 damage. So that Mishra's Factory is actually pumped by the other Mishra's Factory.
It doesn't have a creature type.
It doesn't, but
see,
even in Oracle it doesn't have any creatures. So Fairy Conclave is not a fairy then.
It is. It says fairy, no?
But Trito Village doesn't say anything. Okay, by the way, we should maybe talk about the game. So there was a very important powder keg that got countered by a very important.
Okay, it does not have a type. And in Oracle, did they edit like eventually? I'd like to know.
Me too. We can sort it out later, or maybe somebody in the chat will help us there.
Green ape creature, but it's only in the Oracle. But I only come across the card, so therefore Fairy Conclave is a fairy.
What you're gonna see here, I think, Emil being on 6 life, you will see 3 Fairy Conclaves attacking for the win. That's a squadron at this point. It's not just a fairy. It's like you have an air force there, right there. And Daniel Krutil takes down the match 2-0 against Emil Polak in, I gotta say, very nice games, like very interactive, but not, the way that regular games go. This was more like, I don't have lands, I'm still gonna cast something. Daniel was always looking for answers, and then that was a pretty nice match we had there.
Yes. I think overall it's interesting. Unfortunately, these blue decks, they have just maybe, like, imagine you have nothing and you just draw Fact or Fiction. Like black deck has Skeletal Scrying.
Yeah. Skeletal Scrying gets. I feel like it's a similar level of late game.
Yes,
right?
but Daniel always checked his opponent's mana and never allowed him, even if he had Skeletal Scrying.
Yeah, that's true.
He was never able to use it really properly. But Skeletal Scrying definitely very cool card, and if you're in the color, you should consider it. Because it's a very, very good card.
I think some of that guy Eldex played main deck. Yeah.
And we had our game on the channel.
The infinite
domain with Gas Blessing as a win con against Black White.
Yeah.
I think it just we played 2 games. It was like 3 hours, and then we were just so exhausted.
Maybe 3 hours is a bit too much, but yeah, it was very long. It was like definitely yes. We had it on our Premodern channel.
If you want to check it.
And there was a lot of Decree of Justices being cycled though in those matches.
Yes.
Yeah. The bottom line is that Skeletor Scrying is a great late game card, and I think it just gives the black decks the tools to have good late game.
So now we have 1 minute till the end of the round. Yeah. So I think we'll wrap it up here, and we will show you also the standings after the round 2.
Let's see if we can do that.
That's what you were asking for in the chat. I also see we have a debate whether this format is pay to win, and
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, it's pay to win, and the answer is Sly and Goblins are the best decks. Okay, so except for those. It reminds me, what have the Romans ever done for us?
They did. They
except for the wine system, and roads and sanitation, and they brought peace.
But except for that, seriously, what have they ever done for us?
And peace. Shut up.
So if anyone doesn't know, that was a little Life of Brian reference right there.
By the way, when they show it in Sweden, I saw there was a poster and it said, "This film is so funny, it's banned in Norway."
Is this a thing between the Swedes and the Norwegians where they make fun of each other?
Yeah, I think so.
So the Swedes make fun of the Norwegians for not.
I think now please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think historically
Norwegians
were like the little brothers.
Okay, well, it makes sense.
They belong to Denmark, then to Sweden, and now Norway is incredibly rich, and they just do whatever they want.
Okay, but the little thing about sense of humor, I need someone to kind of like brief me on that one because I don't think I know enough about that thing. Anyway, we're going to take again a very short break actually, because these were 2 very long games. Round 3 will be here very soon, so don't go anywhere, and we're going to see each other in a couple of minutes.